Welcome to the channel, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Now, I quite like doing these videos where I'm actually on a job, on a real world job, and we're not working in multi-million-pound houses, we're working in the ordinary person's house. Now, that comes with its own problems of room. Now, you can't swing a cat in here, but you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, and you see what we're talking about today. Now, I'm going to give a big shout out to the manageress at Brewers in Nottingham, Sally. I've known Sally for, I'm going to say, a good 36 years. She started work with W. Robinson's, which was a Dulux sort of retail merchant back in about 1990, at the same time that I started working with my father. So we've grown up through the paint industry all those years, and she's moved on from being at W. Robinson's. They got taken over by ICI and Dulux. She then left there, got a job with Brewers, and now she's manageress at the Bulwell branch of Brewers in Nottingham. So I'm going to give a shout out to Sally, brilliant manageress, and I'm going to say a bit of a friend as well. Now, she's been in touch with me and said, Phil, can you please try again the Albany AF1? Now, when she rang me to say that to me, you could see my face just drained. Now, I'm going to point to that corner. I did a video on AF1, I'm going to say last year, year before, I can't remember, quite a while ago. It's supposed to be, or it is, or it was, a ceiling paint. Critical light, it's actually got a low sheen level. I am going to say 1% because it is AF1. But I didn't really like it. It wasn't my cup of tea, and I probably put it across on the video that it wasn't really something that I'd be using on a job. I didn't like how thick it seemed to come out the tin, even though it didn't feel like it needed thinning. I didn't like how it rolled. I also didn't like how you got covered in paint splatter. You ended up looking like a snowman. But she's been in touch and said, Phil, forget what you've had before. There's a new formulation out, and would you try it? Because I am an honest Phil, and I will give my honest opinion on what actually a paint is. So I've tried it for the first time on this job, and I'm going to just show you what the tin's like. If I can lift it, that's what we'll come on to. You see that? This is a good, what is it, 10 litre tub. And do you know what? I've lifted it. Now, the last tin of AF1 that we had, you needed to be, I'm going to say, somebody who's a bodybuilder to lift it. It weighed a ton. Now this seems a lot lighter. They have moved, how can I put it? The people that made it before, if you know who it is, give it a comment down below. But they've changed from the people that made this for Brewers stroke Albany, and they've gone with a different manufacturer. Now, in turn, you can see there it says new formulation. You'll know whether you've actually got an old one or a new one. One, because it'll say new formulation on it, and also whether you can lift it. Now, this is virtually a full tin, and I can actually lift it no problem, albeit I can't hold it for that long. Now, I've given it a go, and I'm going to just swivel the camera up if you can see it. This is a ceiling. We've got a patio door there, sliding door, and it's a blown vinyl stroke textured ceiling. So as a critical ceiling goes, this is going to hide a multitude of sins, but I still wanted to know what the actual paint was like. Now, let's just give some background. It is a white paint. It is a flat paint. It is ideal for ceilings. Now, touch dry 1 to 2 hours, and recoat time 2 to 4. Anything else, water-based, use inside, interior, and yeah, just clean anything out with water. If you do need to thin it because you're going over porous surfaces, it does say by 10%. I would just be a bit mindful that if you've got proper porous surfaces, that you might find that 10% you just want to actually put a little bit more in than 10%. But trial and error, play it by ear, see how you go. Now, on this ceiling, I mixed this up. See, I can hold it. I mixed it up, I'm putting it down, and I went with a brush full just to see what it was like to try it without any thinning. Now, there's some people that always put water to paint, and I would say always try your paint on the surface that you're actually painting before you actually go in with putting anything to thin it down. So I went in with a brush full of paint, tried it on the ceiling, thought that feels quite thick, but it actually brushes quite nicely. So we went with a thick, straight out the tin coat of paint. We've tipped it out into a roller bucket, roller scuttle, and I went round and cut in and I'm going to show you what I cut in with. I've mentioned probably these before. I'm liking these oval brushes. I've mentioned other brands before. I've also mentioned Pioneer. That's a lovely brush to cut in round a ceiling. It's also very good for cutting in your bottom, if I do that, your bottom of your ceiling edges if you are actually coming up to paint against a ceiling. So an oval brush, just a shout out to Pioneer. Other brands are available because I have been using another brush. That's a Monarch version as well. So all very similar, but give them a try if you've not tried an oval. These are 3 inches. So what I've done, I've gone around the ceiling and I've actually painted the ceiling with a roller, and it's the usual Rota Gold that I've got there in a long pile because that will actually put a decent amount of paint on. Right, going to this ceiling. I did it yesterday. I pushed the boundaries and I was actually probably just second coating, coming up to that 4 hours. So that 2 to 4 hours window, as long as you've got a bit of heat on, as long as you've got like a door open, let the air come through, you'll probably find that it's dried off enough in that 2 to 4 hour window that you can actually recoat. And I did do. Now, first coat, I could see a little bit of grinniness. I'm not saying grinny, it wasn't see-through, but you could see where it actually gone round because the ceiling was slightly dirty. But you know, when I gave that second coat, near perfect. I will say near perfect. Once it had dried, and I've literally come in this morning to have a look at it, that is a perfect ceiling. So I'm going to say for a perfect flat white ceiling, it has been a lot better. The other thing I want to mention, when I was rolling it, I even stood underneath the roller pole. I've not got it there. If you've not got a roller pole for ceilings, this 2 to 4 foot one from Purdy's a really good one to use. You can put it on with virtually any different brand of roller frame cage, and I use a 9-inch roller sleeve, so you're looking at that standard roller sleeve to be using on something like this. Now, I painted the ceiling with the roller, and I would say if you've not got a roller pole, please get something to make it a lot easier to paint your ceilings. So I painted that ceiling yesterday and then came in this morning to see what it was actually like, and I have to say, getting up on a pair of steps and looking across it back towards the actual main source of light, it is very good. I can't see any roller banding. I can't see anywhere that I've actually gone around with a brush and made it starting to picture frame. Thankfully, I will say, because it is a bit of a textured ceiling, that would be greatly reduced. But I would also say that with it being that white flat finish, even if you had got a flat smooth ceiling, I don't think you'd have any problems with that. But going forward, how this was when I was actually rolling it, I did actually stand underneath it, and you know what? I got glasses on just to try, like they are on top of my head, and I didn't get any roller splatter. So I will say the formulation has changed. It has changed actually for the better, and I would say to you, give it a try, because this is roughly around about 40-ish pounds. Don't quote me on that, roughly about 40-ish pounds. It is a good priced ceiling paint that is a competitor to let's not mention any other brands, but if you want to tell me what ceiling paints you're actually using for critical light and obviously having a flat finish, please just give us some comments below. Now, while we're on this job, I'll just put that down. I know people like to hear what I'm up to. Right, these were vinyl silk walls. What have I done to them? I've done the usual prep. Anything that was a bit of a noggin, any bits of filling, I've done all the filling up. Once that was dry, all the walls have been gone over with. I'm not going to say what brand of sander that I've got. So the brand of sander that I've got is the yellow one with black. I don't want to mention any names. I don't want to give too much publicity to anybody, but you can guess I've gone over all the ceiling. Sorry, I've gone over the walls with the sander and got them down. It was the vinyl silk, so we've just cut into that surface slightly. We've also sanded that filler down and gave it a good clean down as well. We've gone in with, on the walls, we've got a feature wall. I'm just going to swivel you around to that. That has now had 2 coats, and it is the Albany brand of paint, and it is the Durable Matt. This has been no problem whatsoever going over that previously painted, sanded down vinyl silk wall. That's had no sissing, no, I'm going to say, there's nothing that's actually showed up that you'd say, oh, you've gone over vinyl silk. It's not crazed or crozzled or flashed or actually, you know what I mean. It's not sissed and it's not come away from itself once I started going on with a second coat. So that's that wall done. The second coat on the main walls is a lighter colour. That's been done at the moment. We're just waiting for that to dry off. Again, I've gone in with one of these lower pile rollers. I think the actual one I'm using on the walls on these is the blue vein from Arrowworthy. Very nice roller sleeve as well. The main feature wall is done with the medium pile rotor gold, very similar. These are a little bit lower pile, so you don't get so much texture as an orange peel. Right, the other thing I'll mention, woodwork. It was previously gloss. Now we've obviously done the sanding down with the yellow and black sander. Not mentioning any names, but I would say that it would have been nice to be asked to go to Finland to see their factory. So hence why I'm not mentioning them again. You know what I mean. Right, woodwork, went in with the coat of Stix because we were going over a problem service. It was previously oil gloss. We've cut that down. We've actually got it now to a flat finish, and then finished with that to build up for the water-based paint system. Now the water-based paint system, I've gone in with that Stix, and I will be finishing with 2 coats of the Hanford Green Touchgard, which is a really nice paint. You've heard me talk about this times many. Yes, I could have used the Hanford Green all-purpose primer. That is a little bit of an adhesion primer, but knowing how old this woodwork gloss was, I feel a little bit more confident using that Stix product to go over all that before I actually go in with 2 coats of the Hanford Green Touchgard. The Touchgard is the product that is resistant to hand grease, so you don't get that emulsification, particularly on doors where people are probably touching it more than they should be, and your finger grease eats into the stuff that's in the water-based paints that make them go cheesy and very soft. So that word you want to be looking for is emulsification. So that is resistant to your hand grease. So very good product. Another USP of this is the turnaround time. It's dry for recoating in an hour, which is great. I'll be able to get a coat on, and if there's certain areas that I want to get a second coat on today, I will do. Just leave it an hour. As long as it's dry, you can actually coat it all up. Last but not least, I'll just want to talk about, I am working also in the kitchen in there. Customer had a little bit of a mould issue, which we've cleaned down and got rid of. We've prepared all the walls ready, and I've gone in with, if you've not come across this paint before, I'm going to put a arrow into that corner. Glixtone, the Fungishield, is one of the paints that is very, very good for mould and Blackspot. It's some, does it say? This used to be very much endorsed by the National Residential Landlord Association. It's one of these products that gives it a 20-year and never a failure. I won't say a guarantee, but you can tell that this is actually a good paint. So we've gone in with this for the customer. I'm going to say to you, forget price, get the right products, and you won't have any problem. And this is a brilliant one. Don't forget, and I've said it times, when you've got white paints, just be mindful that you might be needing an extra coat, because white never seems to have that body and guts to it like something that's got a pigmented colour. So if you are going over something that's previously a bit darker, you might be putting an extra coat of this on. But you know what? Once you've got that paint system built up, you'll say, what a fantastic finish that is. That is a matte paint as well, so you can get it in satin, but I always find matte is the better one to actually use. You can still wipe it down if you need to, but it will stop and greatly reduce the actual mould and black spot. You can use it anywhere in your house as well. It's not just for bathrooms and kitchens. You can actually go through your whole house if you wanted to use this. It can be made up into a multitude of colours, so you can actually use it off a RAL or a BS standard colour chart card as well. So that's it. So what am I saying? Albany AF1, yes, great paint, found it very good on this ceiling. I will just put the asterisks like that. The sign of a good paint is whether it comes off on a damp sponge. Now, with this being a bit more of a, I don't want to say a contract matte, but very much of a flat finish, is this something that if I went round that ceiling edge wiping it, because I'd put wallpaper on, would I find that it had come off on a damp sponge? I will probably say it would do. If you know you're going to be doing a ceiling that you're going to be papering against, probably you'll change your paint to something a little bit better quality that you know you can wipe it down. But saying that, this is a very good paint for the budget, for the price, and it does what it needs to do. It gives you a flat ceiling, and it's very, very good when you've got critical light, particularly like that, casting across it. So thank you very much, Sally. No sponsorship, no endorsement, no money's changed hands. It was just a case that she's given me a sample tin to try out to get my personal review and thoughts on this new formulation. And as I'm going to say to you, if you knew who made it before, do you want to give us a comment? And if you knew who or who is making it now, do you want to give us a comment? Is it a secret? If it's a secret, shh, don't tell me. Videos at the side, please click anything there that might have interest you. We'll say those that are doing me super thanks, thank you very much. Those that are buying me a coffee and those that are hypering my videos, thank you very much. And I will see you on the next one. Videos are there.